A woman suddenly falls in love with a man she's never even known, to the point where she can't control herself. Why did this happen? It all began with a mysterious perfume worn by a man named Chang-Su. Just one spray makes every woman go crazy for him, including Ara, the woman he has secretly admired. But is this love truly real, or just an illusion created by the perfume? Discover the full story in the Korean movie Love My Scent. A legendary flower is discovered, and a scientist manages to use its essence to create a perfume with a magical quality that many people can only dream of. Meanwhile, Chung-soo rushes to work because he woke up late. From his appearance, you might think Chung-soo is a simple, naive guy who's down on his luck, but he's also a kind soul who can't bear to see others in trouble, so he always stops to help people around him, even when he's in a hurry. Luckily, the bus driver takes pity on him and lets him on the bus. Besides running late, there's another reason Chung-soo always takes the same bus at the same time: to get a glimpse of the woman he admires most, Ara. Seeing her always gives him hope and motivation to get through life, but Chung-soo feels he has too many shortcomings and doesn't think he's worthy of approaching her, let alone talking to the woman of his dreams. Just being able to watch her from a distance makes him happy. Luckily, Chung-soo makes it to work on time. He works in the marketing department at a car dealership, but his boss gets on his case for his messy appearance. Chung-soo's best friend at work, Jung-gil, knows the real reason Chung-soo is always late. He encourages him to be brave and tell the woman he likes how he feels, because keeping his feelings bottled up without any certainty will only make him miserable. On the other town, Ara and her friend, Eun-hee, are also talking about love. It turns out Ara has been single for a long time, about 5 years. Eun-hee finds it strange that Ara is always so pessimistic. For Ara, being in a relationship is boring, and she has yet to meet someone who can make her happy. While at a cafe, Ara runs into her ex, James. Although he tries to strike up a conversation, Ara, who she once disappointed, feels uncomfortable talking to him, especially since he seems to be trying to win her back. Meanwhile, Chung-soo heads to a clothing store at the mall to buy a new suit for work. His boss's pressure to improve his appearance leaves him with no choice. At first, the store clerk who approaches him seems to think Chung-soo was too poor to afford anything. Offended, Chung-soo asks for the price of a few suits, which, as it turns out, are indeed too expensive for him. Feeling overwhelmed by the cost, Chung-soo decides to leave, but his keychain gets caught on the most expensive jacket in the store, causing its sleeve to rip. He's forced to take responsibility and buy the jacket. Chung-soo feels like it's the worst day ever. He has to pay for a torn, expensive jacket using all his savings. Now he doesn't even have money left to buy pants. That night, after work, Ara goes straight home. Seeing her mom and sister just having fun makes her upset. She is the only one who works hard, while her family spends the money she gives them on things they don't even need. Her mom even asks her to buy a car for her sister, even though their family is just scraping by. Somewhere else, a drunk Chung-soo is on his way home when a mysterious man approaches him. He drops several perfume bottles and asks Chung-soo to help him pick them up. When he picks up a bottle that glows brighter than the others, the man gives it to him for free. Since he's drunk, Chung-soo doesn't remember what happens next. When he wakes up in his room the next morning, he quickly gets ready for work, almost late again. But then he notices the perfume bottle in his bag. He realizes the events of last night weren't a dream. Without a second thought, he sprays the perfume on and immediately feels a strange sensation. On his way to the bus stop, every woman he passes is suddenly captivated by him. He's confused as to why they're all following him, and their numbers only grow. Even a grandma Chung-soo knows gets drawn in, causing a commotion on the bus. Ara, who just gets on, is curious about the noise. Miraculously, she too is captivated by Chung-soo. She doesn't understand why her heart is pounding. This is the first time she's ever felt this way about anyone. Chang-soo starts to realize that all these strange things have been happening since he wore the perfume the mysterious man gave him. Curious, he decides to use it again after work. He goes to the clothing store at the mall and finds the same clerk from before. The clerk is still standoffish, but as soon as Chang-soo sprays the perfume, she's magically captivated by him. The same goes for all the women in the store. They all try to get a hug from and chase after Chang-soo as if they're all creatures starved for love. By chance, Chang-soo runs into Ara again. Seeing him being hunted down by all these women, Ara decides to help him and takes him to a quiet spot to hide. But something else happens. Her heart starts to pound again. She begins to feel the effects of the magical perfume and can't control her impulse, which leads her to kissing Chang-soo. When Ara comes to her senses, she can't explain what happened. She apologizes and asks Chang-soo not to get the wrong idea before panicking and leaving. Back at the office, Ara can't calm down. She can't believe she acted so strangely and kissed a man she didn't even know. She tells her friend Eun-hee about it, and her friend can't believe that Ara, who swore she'd never date anyone, was the one who aggressively kissed a stranger. Meanwhile, Chang-soo can't get the kiss from the woman he admires out of his head. That night, after work, he, his friend, and his boss go out for dinner at a restaurant. Coincidentally, Ara and Eun-hee also plan to eat at the same place. Ara is shocked to see Chang-soo at the table next to her. She tries to signal to Eun-hee, but her friend is so excited to find out who the guy is that she draws Chang-soo's attention, who then notices Ara. When Ara decides to go home, Chang-soo chooses to follow her. He's worried because she's very drunk. He wonders if Ara would have liked him without the perfume. Ara, still remembering him even in her drunk state, notices Chang-soo. She's curious why they keep running into each other. Is it a coincidence or destiny? Chang-soo can't answer and is about to leave, but Ara suddenly asks him if he wants to sleep with her. Drunk and under the influence of the perfume, Ara doesn't realize she's forcing herself on Chang-soo. That night, Ara really does end up staying in his room, though nothing happens between them. When she wakes up, she's shocked to see Chang-soo beside her. Embarrassed, she tries to sneak out, but Chang-soo, who stayed up all night, is awake. He apologizes for what happened and promises he didn't do anything to her. Ara then leaves without saying a word. Slowly, Ara starts to remember what she did last night. She feels like she went crazy and is ashamed of herself. To make things worse, they end up on the same bus again. This time, Chang-soo doesn't want to miss his chance. He bravely gives Ara a card with his number. Ara hasn't told Eun-hee about the night before yet. That night, Chang-soo can't believe he gets a text from Ara. She asks to meet him the next day. Chang-soo is overjoyed that his wish is finally coming true. At the appointed time, they meet at a place they had never been before. For the first time, they get to know each other for real. Chang-soo is so nervous that he has a cheat sheet on his hand, so he doesn't run out of things to say. To Ara's surprise, Chang-soo immediately confesses that he fell in love with her at first sight, and that she always makes his heart beat faster. Ara is quite shocked to hear this confession. She's never met a man who was so straightforward, especially on their first real conversation. She finds Chang-soo unique and genuine, and because of this, she feels comfortable and drawn to him. Even on the way home, Ara is not shy about holding his arm. Her one request is that he continues to like her now and in the future. After that night, they officially start dating and try to get to know each other better every day. Meeting Chang-soo has opened Ara's heart and mind. She now understands the true meaning of happiness and always looks forward to seeing her boyfriend. Even though Chang-soo has a simple look and is sometimes reckless, he's a very caring person. He's so attentive that when he notices Ara's leg is hurt, he even asks to go to the pharmacy to get her medicine, even though she didn't say anything about it. She seems to forget all her pain when she's with him. This small gesture of care has touched Ara's heart. She feels so grateful and lucky to have Chang-soo in her life. But their happiness is short-lived when James, Ara's ex-boyfriend, secretly watches them. It's revealed that James is the scientist who created the captivating perfume, and he also chose Chang-soo as his experiment subject. But he never expected that Chang-soo's partner would be Ara, who he is still in love with. He gets so desperate that he approaches Chang-soo to warn him that what he gets from the perfume isn't real, and that he is the one who created it. After that day, Chang-soo is on edge. He's gloomier than usual, worried about losing Ara. Then comes the day that Chang-soo, Ara, and their two friends go camping for the holidays. It also happens to be Chang-soo's birthday. Ara gives him a necklace that makes him incredibly happy because it's the first time he's ever gone camping and received such a special gift from a loved one. The next day, at her desk, Ara finds a gift box. When she opens it, she finds a bottle of perfume. Since there's no name on it, Ara calls Chang-soo to ask if he sent it. Chang-soo, of course, has no idea about the perfume, which makes him even more anxious. At the same time, James suddenly approaches Ara. It turns out he's the one who sent the perfume. James says the perfume in the box is a regular one, but the one Chang-soo has is the only one in the world that can attract women. James claims that Ara's love for Chang-soo is actually caused by the perfume. To him, it's strange that a woman as aloof as Ara could fall for a man as useless as Chang-soo. He tells her it's just a fleeting feeling and that she's mistaken in thinking she's in love. If she's still curious, she can ask Chang-soo about the perfume herself. Ara decides to go home with a heavy heart, without letting Chang-soo know she's leaving, as he's on his way to her office to surprise her. All night, she thinks back to when her feelings first changed, when she was on the bus and met Chang-soo. She feels like she couldn't control herself and has become more attached to him. The unrest in her heart makes Ara decide not to answer Chang-soo's calls. Finally, one day, Ara goes to Chang-soo's place to bring him food. She tries to act normal, even though she doesn't feel right. After eating, Chang-soo asks Ara to be honest with him about something he might have been hiding. Before meeting Chang-soo, she was unhappy and knew nothing about love. But now that she's finally feeling it, someone tells her that all her feelings are fake. Maybe Chang-soo's feelings are real, but what about hers? Is she really in love with him? Or is it just the effect of the perfume? When she finds the perfume Chang-soo has been keeping, Ara is so disappointed. She feels like he's been playing with her feelings. Unwilling to let Ara go, Chang-soo decides to follow her, but she doesn't go home. Instead, she goes to a place James pointed her to. Ara enters a room where James does his research. She's so angry when she finds out that James has been monitoring her life all this time. Based on this evidence, she calls James a stalker and a psychopath. A little later, Chang-soo also enters the room. James explains to them that the perfume doesn't make someone fall in love, but makes them believe that the wearer is their true love. James used several people as experiment subjects, but out of all the perfumes, only the one Chang-soo used worked. By chance, Ara was captivated by Chang-soo. Chang-soo is furious that he's been played. He tries to attack James, but his perfume is snatched. At first, James intends to use the perfume on himself, thinking and believing that he is Ara's true love. But it turns out that Ara never really loved anyone before Chang-soo, and so the face she sees on James changes to Chang-soo's. This proves that Chang-soo is Ara's first true love, and that the perfume only magnified her hidden feelings for him. Seeing that James is distracted, Changsu refuses to give up and fights him again, causing the perfume bottle to fall from James's hands. At that very moment, Ara seizes the opportunity to destroy the bottle. This makes James furious as he's just lost the only working sample of his perfume. After finally catching up with Ara, Changsu explains that his feelings and everything he's done for her are truly sincere. However, all the pretense and lies have already made Ara feel humiliated. In her room, Ara thinks back on all the beautiful moments she shared with Changsu. If it was all just the effect of the perfume, then why does her chest ache when she thinks about him, and why haven't her feelings for him lessened at all? From that day, they decide to part ways and never see each other again. A long time passes, and it makes them both mature. Ara, who used to argue with her mom and sister, can now accept and support each other. Meanwhile, Changsu slowly but surely improves his appearance and attitude, which has a huge impact on his career as he gets promoted to a higher position. Since getting the promotion, Changsu can actually afford a car, but for some reason, he wants to reminisce about his past life. He walks to work, stopping by the people he used to help, including taking the bus at the same stop and time as he used to. For Changsu, this moment is both nostalgic and a little painful, because he still misses Ara. When the bus arrives at the next stop, whether by coincidence or destiny, Ara, whom he hasn't seen in a long time, gets on. Changsu is amazed, especially since she's still wearing the necklace he gave her. There's one fact Ara never told Changsu. She was the one who first started paying attention to him when they were both waiting for the bus. Since then, she had unknowingly become interested in Changsu, whom she considered unique and genuine. Time can't change the fact that they truly love each other and that their feelings are real, not because of the perfume or anything else. Perhaps at that time, neither of them understood why fate kept bringing them together. Some people believe in fate, and others believe in luck. But believe happiness is something we create. Fate may decide who you meet in life, but only you can decide who stays. With that, thanks for watching, and see you next time.